My 18-year-old niece is convinced the world revolves around her. So how do I break it to her that I can't plan her whole wedding reception, which is in less than 2 months, and that no one in our family can afford to cover everything like she expects us to? I, 33F, am facing a situation and not sure how to handle it. In April of this year, my oldest niece Dawn, 30F, announced that she and her boyfriend would be getting married this year. My niece asked me to please handle all centerpieces and any decor for the wedding as well as being her maid of honor. I was thrilled and worked my butt off for 4 months. It was really hard work, but I pulled it off and my niece was over the moon with how her wedding turned out. Dawn left all of them decor up to me, saying I could what I wanted, and thankfully, she and everyone else at the wedding loved it. At the reception, my youngest niece Lee, 18F, decided that her oldest sister's wedding was the best time to tell everyone that she and her boyfriend are getting married on Halloween this year. I was busy and had heard her saying something but didn't really think about it again until this afternoon. Dawn called saying Lee had called her saying she had bought her wedding dress. Lee told Dawn that since Dawn makes cakes, she wants her to do her wedding cake, and she loved what I did for Dawn's wedding, so she wants me to do hers as well. While I'm glad to be the person she wants to decorate her wedding, this brings up a boatload of issues. Issue 1: 3 months ago, my mother, 60, and I booked a trip for out of town the weekend Lee has picked for her wedding. Call me selfish, but we have really been looking forward to this trip. Our lives have been kinda crazy and the time away is really needed. Issue 2: I paid for all the crap I needed to make the centerpieces and to decorate for Dawn's wedding. I told her it would be my husband's and I's wedding gift to her. I paid for everything so she could have really nice stuff that I knew she couldn't afford on her own, and Dawn was over the moon. At that time, I had the money to do it. 2 weeks before Dawn's wedding, I moved into a new house, then got laid off the next day. So my money is tight. I have a family to help support. Lee told Dawn she has zero money for decorations and the cake, meaning she expects Dawn to make the wedding cake, pay for it, and me pay for decor and centerpieces. With Dawn and myself just paying for Dawn's wedding, we are all tapped out. She is also expecting my parents to pay for the food since they just paid for the food at Dawn's wedding. Issue 3: Lee picked October 30th for the day of the wedding. We live in southern Indiana, and weather in the Midwest this time of year can be either rain or even snow. The location of the wedding is at my parents' farm, outside. There is nowhere to go if it rains or anything, it's all 100% outside. So, I'm not going to lie, Lee is and always has been a huge jerk. She thinks just because she says this is what I want, everyone should hop to. She can be really difficult just because. Dawn asked Lee what kind of maid of honor dress she needed to look for, and Lee's answer was whatever. She wants her wedding cake to be Nightmare Before Christmas themed, said her wedding color is navy blue, and doesn't have any thoughts about anything else. So she wants everyone to do everything and come up with it all in our own, and in dealing with Lee that means that, even though she purposely didn't say what she wanted, what you give her will not be good enough or right, and she will throw a fit. It's the reasons I had to stop buying her anything for Christmas and her birthday. Nothing was good enough and she'd freak, so no more gifts. So my question, Reddit, is, how do I go about talking about all of these issues with Lee? I can't do what she wants, none of us can. While I do want to do for her what I did for Dawn, I am just not in the place to do again this soon. If I could talk her into moving the wedding to December and having it at her dad's giant building, I could do what she wants. No one would be in the rain or snow, and my mother and I won't be out of town. How do I tell her this without her turning it into me just trying to tell her what to do? Commenter: the wedding is at your parents' farm when your mother won't be there? Oop. Yep. My niece didn't ask anybody anything, she just started telling everyone when she's getting married. I'm telling Lee Tuesday about the trip and everything I put in my post. I want her to actually listen and not think I'm just being a dick or don't care or something. Update 1. First of all, I'd like to thank everyone who commented on my original post. In my everyday life, I'm the problem solver, the fixer, so I was looking at this entire situation as a problem that I needed to solve. I knew if I asked you guys what to do, you would all see it from a perspective that I was just too close to see that. Thank you all for showing me that not only was any of this my problem, but also that it was not my responsibility to do anything at all in this situation. Clearly, I have stuff that need to work on and keep working on. My husband has helped me over the 11 years we have been together. I used to be like a field mouse and absolutely terrified to say no to people, sometimes even crying over it. Thanks to the people on here who suggested it, I'm actually going to start practicing saying, standing up for myself and letting no be a complete sentence. My husband said I can practice on him whenever I need to, and we will start working on it today. Okay, so the update. Sunday night I called my mom and told her everything. I pointed out that we will be gone on the weekend Lee was wanting to get married on, and said that for once, I would be putting my foot down. We will be going on the trip. My mom laughed and said not to worry and that Lee has lost her damn mind if she thinks any of us will pay for anything. I told her to call my dad before my sister had a chance to lie to him. My dad said the same thing as mom and decided to call Leah's dad to find out what was going on. Leah's dad said he told Lee that since he just bought her a car and his business is getting ready to shut down for winter, he could not afford a wedding for her this year. He told her to put the wedding off till around May of next year and that would be enough time. Lee lost her mind. Her dad said after a lot of screaming, she finally yelled, "I'll pay for it myself." And apparently in Leah's mind, that meant getting all of us to pay for it. My dad said he needed to tell Lee that not a single one of us will ever pay for her to get married, ever, and if she just absolutely has to, she can do it at the courthouse. Later that night, Leah's dad called my dad back and said he sat Lee down and demanded to know why she was pushing for a wedding so soon. Turns out, her boyfriend is joining the Navy and they thought it'd be a good idea to get married. Her dad told her that none of us are paying anything for her wedding and she would have to go to the courthouse if she had to, but there will be no wedding this year. After an hour of yelling, Lee said fine and she will just move the wedding to next year, but honestly, if her boyfriend is going away, I can totally see her finding a new guy while he is gone and this whole wedding thing going away. So thank you all so much for helping me. Commenter: thanks for the update. She sounds like the type to cheat on her boyfriend when he hasn't even been at boot camp for a week. Oop. She's cheated on him a lot. Commenter 2: wow, tell him. Don't let them get married. She sounds crazy. Oop. The fudged up thing is she tells him herself. She cheats on him, tells him about it and says he can't get mad because she was honest with. Update 2: today that Lee got married Tuesday. Absolutely no one knew about it. Leah's mom, my sister. Dawn called her today to try to get her to talk Lee out of the whole marriage thing altogether. Dawn said to her mom that there's no way she could think it's a good idea for Lee to get married, and my sister replied, well, it's kinda too late for that. Dawn asked her mom what the hell that meant and she said they snuck off Tuesday and got married at the courthouse. My sister tried to act like Lee had no choice since it's my fault none of us would pay for her wedding. Apparently I somehow have the power to tell my parents not to pay for a wedding, and since I thought my trip was more important and refused to let mom cancel, what was Lee supposed to do? Dawn went off on her mom and stuck up for me, but I couldn't care less if she is blaming me. I cut my sister out of my life 6 years ago, so anything she says means nothing in my life. Lee says they will have a real wedding next year, and Dawn told her mom that when she does have it, not to ask her for a cake or me to decorate. Dawn said we will not help in any way and she told me she's gonna beat me if I help, but I told her not to worry about it. So yeah, that's that I guess. Hope my sister can pay for the divorce. Update 3, Ops comments. The first is so I make handmade gifts for people that I love, and I used to make my niece handmade things for her all the time. Until one day she let slip that everything I've ever made for her she sold online. She told me I should be flattered because everything sold for a good chunk of change. That was 6 years ago and she doesn't understand why I no longer give her any gifts at all. She completely broke my heart. And another comment by Oop. The one that broke my heart, I made her a custom coffee table out of a door from our grandma's house. That door was the last thing we had from the house, and now it's in some stranger's house. Someone then asked, not to be weird, but I saw you'd written about her a while back. Is she still married? Are there kids? And Oop responded, that's a different niece, she's actually married to someone else and she can't have kids.